Okay. Now we got to get the chat pulled up. So let's go ahead and pull up the chat. What's up? We're going to be doing some wrenching on the old Kraken Vesla today. We got to get the live chat pulled up and everything. We're going to be working on the rear end, so. Let's go here. See. All right. Yeah. YouTube Studio. All right. Okay, so now. Okay, so we got the chat up. Everything's going good. We have got a couple people watching. So, all right. So what we're gonna be doing is I don't have the parts here yet, but I got a email this morning that I'm gonna be my rear control arms for this are gonna be coming. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull, I guess, the rear control arms and stuff off, and I might even go ahead and get the transmission out of there because I need to go through the transmission and at least re-grease the gears and probably go ahead and repack the bearings full of grease because I don't want a bearing failure. I want to just at least check them out because I do that every season because I don't want a bearing failure, and that's like a $150 case, $200 transmission case, so I don't want to ruin it, you know. So, and I know that idler gear, that idler bearing, it takes a lot of abuse, you know, as far as that goes. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. And I don't think this is gonna. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Get rid of my limit straps. And I'll just cut this from here. Cut this from here. Yeah, because I remember I put some thicker weight oil in the rear. And we're going to want to go ahead and get rid of this one because the wheelie bar's got to come off. So, all right, now just trying to figure out where I'm going next. With it, I suppose what we'll probably do is just go ahead and get this wheelie bar out of the way, because that's going to be the biggest thing that is in the way. All right. So we're going to need a 5/16. Go ahead and loosen these babies up. I don't think that one's going to loosen without something in the bottom. Yeah, we've had some really nice weather, and I haven't ran this, and I'll show you why. And I just found something else that kind of bugs me out, but yeah, I gotta get this wheelie bar off to show you that. But yeah, we had some really nice weather, and the reason I haven't had this out is because it's got a broken rear control arm, and that's why the wheel looked like it was gonna fly off last time I had it out, because it had that. There's a spot broken in the right side lower control arm, and it makes when when the wheels turn and it's under load and under torque, it's jumping around like you think it's just gonna fly off, but it never does. So I got a new set coming. They're supposed to be here, not tomorrow, but Monday. So we're gonna go ahead and get this torn down, and then while I'm there, like I said, while I'm taking all this apart, I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, pull that transmission. And I got bearings for it and everything. If I don't replace the bearings, I want to at least repack them if they're not grindy or gritty or whatever. They shouldn't be. But got anything going on in the comments? Hey, what's up, bro? I should just get my nut driver out. My electronic screwdriver, whatever you want to call it. I'm always down here doing all this. I know better than that. Gotta clean the mud out of it, or I'm gonna strip it. All right. Now, let me switch over to this. The battery's pretty much toast in this thing. It doesn't hold the charge very well anymore. But it's still turning them out. Alright, we got the wheelie bar out of the way. Now I'm going to show you guys something that I seen on this wheelie bar. See how well it shows up on camera. But yeah, you can see it right there. It cracked that stainless steel right in that bend. So I don't know. I think I could probably get a couple of these. I could probably get some replacement ones, or just make some myself. But I really like this bonehead wheelie bar. So that kind of bums me out. But I mean, it's still solid as heck. I'm going to run it until it just breaks off. Hey, what's up, Mike Cross? Hey, and Mike is one of my channel members. What's up, bro? Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. So I'll put this wheelie bar back over here. Now I'm going to set this Taylor 35 machine back up there. Okay, so now what I think we're going to do, I need to charge this battery first of all. Okay, let me get back in here, charge this battery. All right. Now the next thing, I'm probably gonna take the shock off here. Yeah, they're not extended or whatever. That's a 3. I need to get me a new 3mm bit. I have this, but it's not very comfortable to wrench with. Here, why don't we go ahead and get these tires out of the way too, or wheels, or whatever you want to call them. We'll get these bad boys out of the way. Why that gun's charging. That one's partially loose. I know I just put it on there, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll just put it back on and take it off every time I'm done with it, and eventually it'll be charged. But these shouldn't take nothing to pull off. Come on, baby. Here we go. Probably end up just setting these up there. Set that back on the charger again. That's how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to check. I'll check the chat as soon as I get back around, guys. Okay, and then I don't know if Mike is still in here, but what I'm going to do, it's been a long time since I've tried doing this and going into these settings or whatever. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go into my settings and make Mike a moderator for my lives. And any other channel member that I have, as far as that goes, if you want to be a moderator, don't comment in the live chat, but comment on the video itself, because the comments in the live chat, they just disappear. But comment on the video itself and I'll make you a moderator. But you got to be a channel member. So that's how you get the position. And then we'll just set that one over here. Put this boy back on the battery charger. And put these back on. I love these BRP adapters. I think this is the SRC BRP adapters. And these BRP adapters, these are steel. Because the 71, well, I'll show you what it did to this. Yeah, so that's why I got steel, because it just peeled the pin right out of that bad boy. Hey, what's up? I'm rebuilding my body at the moment. Awesome, man. Awesome, sweet. So, next thing is going to be getting these shocks out of the way. Whoops. Get this turned out. And these are, I don't know what I was going to say. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to talk about the shocks. These, I'm I just love this machine, this Kraken Vesla. I love it. It's my favorite, by far my favorite machine. But it handles so, I mean, it handles nice. Even, I mean, especially with a big bore in it. I mean, it just, it rolls out. What do we got going on in the comment? Okay. All right. So, let me get these sunglasses off the top of my head. There we go. And then what we'll do is pop these carriers out. And I'll get over to this side. Yeah, I thought this one was kind of different. This one's just fighting me. I'll take off the front one instead. There we go. See what you guys can see here. Everything's good again. So I'll just pull this pin out. And then what I'm probably going to do when I go back together with this, guys, is, I don't know if you can see that, but there's just a slight bit of play in there. I'm going to probably put a shim inside there. So it doesn't have any more play. Gosh dang it. I'm not gonna put them back on, I'll just set them up there. I was gonna just put them back on so I wouldn't lose them, but seems like it's gonna be more of a pain in the butt than anything. All right, now I need 4. And a 4. Use my nut driver. I wonder if my battery's got a little bit more charge in it. Should have enough charge in it to take care of this. Ah, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Oh well. Ah. Okay. All right, yeah. Got confused there for a second. Thought I was missing a piece. I'll just go ahead and set these right here. And then we'll go to the other side. And get these other ones loose. I'll try not to drop this one. Okay. Got that bad boy out of there. And I'll show you where this this thing's broke. And you guys should be able to understand why the wheel was just flopping around like crazy. And then I'll show you almost better to get them damn things out of the way. I wish I would have. I need a flashlight in here. Yeah, I kind of figured that would probably happen. Oh well. Not too worried about it. I got a bunch of those clips. So now, we'll get this side out. This side's probably going to be a little bit more difficult. Actually, it didn't fight me near as bad, and I didn't lose it. I'm not gonna look for that shit right now. I got 1,000 of these things. I bought some from Harbor Freight. So there, and these pins should just be able to slide out. And I'll show you what I have for shims in here. Anyways, that's what I got for shim. And I put it in between. There's probably a little bit, 3 seconds gap in between the control arm and the front and the rear of the transmission. And right here is what I'm talking about. And that's where where I had that shim. I'm just gonna grab a pair of pliers, see if I can yank this baby out. My word, is it bent or something? Jeez. Not so much for that. This one's still good. I mean, it's got a couple rubs here. But if I'm going to put them on, I'm going to put them both on new. I'll stick that underneath there. Yeah, it's not bent. The hinge pin's not bent. It was just acting stupid. Yeah, it's right there. It's just, oh, I think I know what it was. It's where all that corrosion is around the. So I'll keep that baby out. I'm not gonna lose it anyways. And then we'll get this side out. Okay. There we go. And this is the one that's broke, and here's the shim I had on the other side. So, but where it's broke, it was in there, pretty sure like that. Yeah. Yeah, it was. So it was in there like that, and it's broke right in between the carrier, and see how, I don't know if I had that even in the, but you can see where it's broke right in between the carrier, and see how flimsy that is without that being there. That's why that wheel looked like it was, I mean, it was twisting this like clear up like that. It looked like the wheel was gonna fly off. So, yeah. Anyways, so I got a new set of these coming. And they should be here Monday. And then, why don't we go ahead and get these shocks out of the way. We can go ahead and start yanking the transmission, I suppose. What do we got going on in the comments? I freaking totally forgot about it. Every time I do this, I totally forget about the comments. I got to get back down here and read them. I think the discs are slipping in front of the hex, so I'm going to try putting 2 of the plastic clips in to help the disc on the hex. Yeah. In fact, I removed mine, or maybe one failed. I can't remember what happened, but those little plastic, they're like a C-clip. But anyways, that happened to me. One of my brake discs went off to the side, and it ground my brakes hex down into nothing. And it was a pain in the absolute butt to get off. What else we got going on down here? About the Vesla, that's an inch wider on each side than the Baja, right? Oh, at least. I mean, I know I have another tape measure in here. I used to have 2 of them. I can measure it for you right now. Here, I'll just go out and grab this one real quick. I'll be right back. So yeah, I got the widening kit on my Baja. I got the FLM widening kit, and from outside to outside of the tire is like 20 3/4 inches. And then the Vesla is just as wide in the front as it is in the back. Unless you have the offset of the Taylor Genesis. But the front, yeah, it's 22 and a half to that. Actually 22 3/4. So yeah, it's an inch on each side more wider. Hey, what's up, Harry? I just bought a 65 Supreme with a high compression head and easy start for $900. It had a 40 GT cylinder and head on it. Came with a new cylinder and head. That's awesome. What's your thoughts on a 65 going to build? Oh man, anything Okay, so I've had a 40 GT. I got a 35. I've had a 40 GT, and then I have this 71 Supreme, and the 65 is just the tier below the Legend is what Mike calls this, but they run awesome. In fact, I just watched the guy. He had it in he had it in a Baja, and it had a Kraken cage on it though. I'm pretty sure, and he was running, and it was a 65 Supreme, and he had that thing. It was buzzing across the field. I bet 65, 70 mile an hour, and it was. I mean, it was roosting like crazy. It was doing pretty much everything that the 71 Supreme does. I mean, this one's got 6 more cubic centimeters in it. But what we got here? Yeah. Okay, so anyways, back to this. We can pull these shocks off and stuff like that. See what's going on here. And then, let's see if this side's gonna be down. Yep. All right. I bet I forgot to put this thing on the charger. Oh well, we'll see if it'll rip these babies out. Yep. And come in here like so. Put this over here. All right. Let's see what I got on there. I have full black bone and IRC for Vesla something. So, yeah, well, I was gonna say something about that. I think Mike Cross, he's talking about putting a big bore in his Vesla because he said he had black bone and IRC for the Vesla. He's thinking about getting one. Yeah, the Baja, the reason I put this, I had the 71 Supreme in the Baja first. And the reason being is because they hadn't come out with that idler gear that could handle the torque of a big bore for the Vesla yet. And then the reason I put my 71 Supreme in the Baja is because the Baja is the lightest platform you can come across, and they are freaking rockets. I'm telling you, they are rockets. But I guess what I'm gonna say, and I have a Baja and I have a Vesla, but this Vesla handles, as far as like cornering and the way the center of gravity works and everything. This Vesla being an inch wider on each side, it handles a lot better, and it stays planted more is what I would say. So I don't know if I would ever go back to putting my 71 Supreme in a Baja. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Don't know how else to say it besides that. You know, it handles so well. And it's been forever since I had a running video long enough to even show you guys, but it it handles so well on this machine. I mean, it goes anywhere I point it. No, this screwdriver I had back when I was turning wrenches. Okay, so before I got into RCs, I used to work on semis, diesel trucks, and I got this way back probably 08, 2008. So it's old as hell, but no, it doesn't have enough power to strip anything out. I mean, if you're going into plastic, you probably want to be a little bit careful. Like if you're driving like one of these screws into a bead lock, you want to be careful. I usually do those by hand, but it's like as far as like any of these, I mean, you could just run it right up and like the BRP, these nuts and stuff, it works perfect for that. Yeah, I use it a lot for just taking things out quick. You know, just pull it right out. I always like to loosen it by hand. I mean, you can put this thing up here, and it has enough. It's not really that it has power. The motor locks, and so you can use it as a screwdriver. But I don't like to twist on that motor like that. The mechanism in it. I know it's Snap-on, and I can get it warranted anywhere, but on the Snap-on truck, anyways. But I like taking, loosening stuff by hand, so I don't. Plus, I find it, if you got something like this on here and you're trying to loosen it, it's really easy to get, cocked off to the side, and it'll round things off. I don't want to be doing any of that stuff, so yeah.
I got my Blackbone drivetrain for my Baja. But the axle shafts are too long.
Oh, I got you. I have one, and I would recommend this platform to anybody. In fact, I said when I unboxed it, and now I can stand behind it now that I got my big bore in it. But when they first come out, I always thought that they were going to be can't never take the place of a Baja, but they were going to be the next big two-wheel drive machine, and that's exactly what they've become. Is as far as even electric, there's guys with electric conversions on these, and I watch those on YouTube too, and those things rip hard, man. Those DBXLEs with those pop cam motors in them, those things rip hard too. Yeah, he's talking about. You talking about this dog bone, Mike? But yeah. Anyways. So, let's see what we got going on. That's the one, yep. Yeah, these are kind of a special deal here, because if you look at them, they got like a more of a constant velocity thing going on. And the carrier itself is different. And then, I got RC UHD right here. I run the UHD, but you can see the link difference. It's quite the difference. It'd be 2 inches. So. And got this cup. But yeah, that's another thing I was gonna say, guys. I'm really surprised I haven't snapped one of these yet. I guess I probably got a good one or something. I don't know, but this was kind of grindy and not happy. Maybe I'm getting ready to snap one. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's very happy. But anyways, what we got going on?
You can get.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the hub extenders have come a ways, but I know that for the longest time, if you look up hub extenders, I don't know if it's like that now, but on Mike's site, if you looked up hub extenders, it would say that they were not recommended with big bore because they have so much more torque. And I know guys do it and they get away with it. I just never have, just because I read that and it's like, well, I don't want to waste any more money than I already have. I mean, yeah. So, but
Let's see what else.
yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of them. I mean, I just for the simple fact I ran these and when you're okay, so your wheel's sitting there and they add more force like that. Not only that, but I'm not a fan of them. I've ran a couple of them, and I just think there's better ways of doing it. And then what I did for the longest time, guys, I can bring you guys over here. What I did for the longest time is all right, let me grab one of them wheels. I got these mounted back up for the Taylor, or for the Taylor 35. But you see what I did with the offset on the Genesis. So with that being offset, though, basically, yeah, and now it's starting to turn. But the wheel is going to be sitting like this, and so it'll make it makes it about 1.5 inches wider. No, it's a 1/2 inch. No, 3/4 of an inch wider on each side, so it totals 1.5 inches. But that's one way you can get away with it, is by the Genesis wheels. You can do that offset. Also BRPs, you can do that with BRPs, but you can't do that with BRPs on a Vesla because they won't work. And I don't know if BRP has corrected that issue yet. I really don't know. So, but what happens on the Vesla here? Let me put you guys back over here. My dog's snoring. But what happens on the Vesla is the BRP wheels aren't big enough on the inside. And so what happens on the Vesla is they hit here and here, and you can't, the inside of the wheel, and so you can't, until they come up with a bigger wheel, you can't run BRPs on a Vesla unless you change this whole situation out. Which I imagine is possible because all this is Baja interchangeable, it seems like. But at the same time, you're gonna lose width unless you go with that offset, so so yeah. But I wonder if there's anything else I can ramble about. Because that's about all I want to do for today as far as taking things apart. And it seems like I said, every time I start wrenching, then I forget about my audience and stuff. So I can sit here and clean and pay attention to the comment section. And I am gonna clean this transmission really good when I get it out of here. Mike makes such nice parts, and once you get them on, you're like, I don't even want to run it. It looks so nice. And then it just, over time, it gets dirty. I'm constantly cleaning this thing. So, anyways. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and quit the live stream here. I don't really want to get into that. I don't really want to get into the transmission because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken off and taken apart, and I'm not up to doing it right now. It's nice weather outside, and I kind of want to get back outside and enjoy the last little bit of nice weather we have before it turns cold here in Iowa. And I mean, they're talking about, what is that? The La Nina. They're talking about one of the coldest winters we've had in a long time. So with a bunch of snow. So hopefully that doesn't happen, so I can keep ripping. Must do upgrades for a big block on either platform would be gears, and you're gonna have to get a transmission case with black bone gears inside. You're gonna want big bore shocks or big bore springs. Let's see. You're gonna want if you're going Baja. I still can't believe I haven't had any problems with my these are completely bone stock Kraken Vesla dog bones and drive cups and stuff. I haven't had any problems with that. I still can't believe I haven't. But if I'm doing a Baja, I've had so much problems with these. And this is a must. You got to upgrade these. You got to do it. I mean, dog bones, cups, shocks, all your gears. Yeah, you're gonna want to do your gear plate, and you definitely want to do carriers, aluminum carriers. You're gonna want, I guess probably either, because Kraken makes lower control arms for just the Baja, because I have a set. I would either get the Kraken plastic ones or the FLM, aluminum ones. I'm trying to think of if there's anything I'm missing. Oh, the pins, your drive pins. You're gonna want to beef those babies up. You're gonna want to run, what are they, 4 or 5? 4. I think they're 4 millimeter, 4 or 5 millimeter. I got some up here. I don't know what size they are, but you're gonna want to upgrade those pins. Also, you'll probably want to, you're gonna want to upgrade your differential, your bevel gears, your differential housing. I forgot, I almost left that stuff out, and that's a major thing. And it's kind of expensive, pricey to do that shit too, because I can't remember what I'm running in here, but I know in this one I'm running IRC diff, and that thing, I think that diff was like $200. It's like about as much as my old Mustang. It's like, what? But yeah. Trying to think if there's anything I left out. You'll depend on what. Yeah, you're definitely want to do the drop for your exhaust. You want to do that drop tower. That's 35, so you can't see what happens. But when the 71's in here, that header comes clear out here, and that's why the tower's dropped. Because I think you get, basically you got to buy the kit, and the kit comes with, and then you got to get your fluid. Comes with the bevel gears and the housing and everything. I'm pretty sure it does. I don't think you have to buy all that stuff separate. But that what I was saying is that you're gonna want a drop tower because with my 40 GT, I didn't get it till the end of, right before I upgraded my 40 GT to a 71 Supreme. But I got this right before I upgraded to a 71. But what happened when I had my 40 GT in here, even that header, it would hit on that shock tower, the rear shock tower, and it would mar up the pipe. So trying to think. This is actually the machine, like the Pinnacle. This is my first big bore machine, so it's got like all the stuff that minus that 2-speed. This 2-speed's junk. It doesn't shift, and you can't buy parts to make them shift anymore. So kind of a crapshoot. I keep thinking that I'm gonna go live one of these days, and what we're gonna do is pull this transmission and swap out the lay shaft, because that's what I'll have to do to switch it back over to a conventional design. So, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah, if you do that stuff, it should get you pretty close to. I mean, you're still gonna have stuff that breaks. It's just part of it, but it'll get you on the right track to where you can run more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But yeah. So yeah, anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and see what's going on. I'm outside. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop the live stream, guys. I kind of want to get outside and see what's going on out there. And like I said, it's one of the last days we're gonna have, and it's November, so hopefully I can get some ripping in. It's supposed to like tomorrow. It's supposed to be back down in the 50s. It's like 70 today. So now you can understand why I want to be out there, because it's 70. It's real nice. But tomorrow it's supposed to be back in the 50s, and just so everybody knows, that's another reason why I haven't ran anything this week through all the nice weather, because it's been in the high 60s, low 70s for 2 or 3 days. And the reason I haven't ran anything is when you do that, this thing's tuned for, I think, 40, like high 40s. If you go out and run it in the 70-degree weather, you're gonna have to completely retune that, because the air density is different. So that's another reason why I don't. It's a lot. There's a lot more to it than people realize. Especially when you're living in places where the weather changes constantly. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and quit rambling in the live stream. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, hey, Kyle, what's up, bro? What's up, man? You caught the end of it. Yes, it is. Definitely super temp sensitive. Yeah, it is. I was just telling him that's why, the weather just cooled down, and I just talked about the weather changing, and I ripped the 35 and tuned it to that weather, and then now it's 70 degrees. It's real nice. You got there. It's comfortable to rip. You're not going to get cold or anything, but I'm just going to have to go all the way back to where I was before the weather changed. And then not only that, but when it goes back cold, like tomorrow, I'm going to have to do it again. So anyway, you're the caboose. Yeah. So yeah, guys, anyways, I hope everybody has a great weekend. One thing I'd ask of y'all, if you could just take a quick minute and give the live stream a thumbs up, that'd be great. It'll help the algorithm and everything, help the video get out to people and whatnot. So, yeah. Other than that, guys, stopped in. Okay, so I will say this, before I close. The reason why I didn't have a stream last Saturday is because I had made that video on Friday of the Taylor 35, and bless my wife's heart, she wanted to take me out for lunch last Saturday. So instead of going live, I went out and ate lunch with my wife. So I thought that was a pretty nice trade-off, Anyways, that's why I didn't go live last weekend. But yeah, it's gonna be a regular thing, because now the weather's for sure turning. So it's gonna be a regular thing. We'll either have a project, and I'll try to push a video out in the middle of the week sometime. So we'll always have a project, one of these, on a Saturday, whether it's taking the 2-speed out of the old Punisher machine, or replacing little things on this. I mean, I'm probably gonna go through this transmission off camera and get it all greased up, get it ready to go. That way, when my arms come here, I can get it back together and get a video pushed out to you guys. So, anyways, yeah, have a great weekend, everybody, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys.